Hey there, Sart here. So we've got the Iron Giant trial coming out this week, which is the last of the 12 types trial, and so I figure I better get on it, and I better get my Esther clear in of the Dark Dragon before Iron Giant comes out. That way we can go ahead and switch gears, start doing the Iron Giant. So here's the team I'm going to take. Obviously you can see we're not going to be making the 5-unit mission on this one. I could take Wilk out and do it with a 5-unit team, but it takes about anywhere between 18 and 20 turns to do it with Esther. And so, you know, it's just, you know, it is what it is. And so having Wilk in there just makes it feasible to get it done a little bit quicker, because Wilk can bring the 90% defense break. And of course he does a little bit of damage himself. He's not a slouch. He does some decent damage on this one, and his LB is more effective against dragons anyways, so he helps out a little bit with the damage. So with Wilk we can get it done between 12 and 14 turns, and so that's what I'm going to show you here. I'll cover the gear at the end, because anything can happen, something can go wrong, so I figure I'll just jump right in. Let's get to it. Let's see how we clear this, and then I'll show you the gear at the end if we are successful. All right. So to start off, we're just going to kind of get set up. We're not really going to start doing serious damage till turn 4, because we got to wait for Kuja's big imperil. We've got to make sure our 90% defense break is in place and all that jazz. So we're just going to kind of be setting up here on this first on these first turns. So we'll do Enlightka, Prayer Vitality for LB fill. The biggest thing here at the beginning is just, getting Wilk's LB filled up. All right, because you can only use that cloud style thing twice in a battle. So we're gonna save the cloud style. That's the one that fills up his 90% break fully with just one use. We're actually gonna save that one for a little bit later, and we're just gonna start with Dragon's Reincarnation. That only does 1 charge on his Magnus, and it requires 2 to go, but that's all right. We're gonna take it slow here at first, because like I said, our big burst isn't gonna come till turn 4 anyways. So there's no need to rush that 90% defense break right out of the gate. Esther's can just go ahead and set up for an LB next turn. Esther's are really just going to be doing setup LB back and forth. That's pretty much all they're going to be doing the whole time. Nice and easy. All right. So what we want to do is we want to go ahead and send Wilk first. We'll send Sylvie as well. Kuja will do Light Breaker. The thing about Kuja is that like most of his breaks are magic attacks, and if you hit this boss with magic, it will retaliate with Ultima. We do not want that. So we can't use any of his breaks except for the cooldown that does the 160% imperil. Thankfully, that one doesn't actually hit the boss with magic, all right? So yeah, Rosa can imbue everyone with light. She'll be our light imbue unit. And also she'll be helping out with LB fill for Wilk. And Esther's can just, go ahead and chain it up. All right, this is gonna do like negligible damage. Yeah, as you can see, not much going on there. So obviously Kuja's our provoke unit. Sylvie is also passive provoke, so we have both of them in the first 2 slots, just in case Kuja goes down and doesn't re-raise in time to like absorb some attacks or anything like that. Sylvie's there as a backup, but Kuja is the main provoke unit. He is death resistant, 200% fire resist, all that jazz. Okay. Let's see. All right, Esther's will of course do their LBs. Rosa will go ahead and do the 250% dragon killers on them. Sylvie will do Paladin's defense, offense, and Clever Paladin strike to go ahead and finish filling up Wilk. All right, he'll do another Dragon's Reincarnation so that he can do his 90% defense break next turn. Kuja will go ahead and do Phoenix Guard on himself. so that he will re-raise, because he's going to most likely die next turn. And that's okay. That's perfectly fine. All right, Esther's just doing LB. This one will be, if we're lucky, it'll do like 1 billion. Yeah, that one was pretty sad. Wow, 700. Yeah, that was a low roll. All right, no biggie. All right, so now Wilk can do his 90% defense break. We'll have Sylvie go ahead and chain up her Clever Paladin strike to help Wilk fill up his LB, so he can do his LB next turn as well with the Esthers. Rosa will go ahead and do another Enlightga. And a Prayer of Vitality to make sure Wilk's LB is up and ready to go for next turn. All right, so we've got the 160% light imperil up. All right, so let's go ahead and use that now. Okay, boom, boom. All right. And again, this will do like pretty negligible damage. Actually, that wasn't too bad. What was that? Almost as much as the LBs last turn. Yeah, 500. Yeah, so the off turns aren't totally useless. All right, there we go. So Kuja does have guts on himself. He's got 2 different forms of guts: the Midsummer Boater's Hat and Urba's Boon. All right, so that'll be fairly important for a later turn. Okay. Now Sylvie can do her LB. Wilk will do his LB. Rosa will do Dragon Bane on the Esthers. All right. And, yeah, we'll just have him do Phoenix Guard on himself. Just so he kind of always has some form of re-raise on himself. All right, Esthers will, of course, do their LBs. All right. This one should hurt pretty good, because we've got our 160% light imperil. We've got our 90% break. Esther, both Esthers have a 250% Dragon Killer buff. Wilk has, he doesn't have his Dragon Killer buff yet. Does this one buff the Dragon Killer? Not yet. Yeah, so it's all right. This is, he won't do as much damage on this one, but we'll buff his Dragon Killer on a later burst turn. It's more the Esther's game anyways, so yeah. There you go. That's about where I want to be. 75% on turn 4, looking good. Yeah, usually we do around 300. Or sorry, 3 bill on that turn. That's pretty typical. All right, Kuja is going to prepare with the Nethicite, because we're going to get the Dispel this turn. We want to make sure we Nethicite that. Rosa will go ahead and go and do another Enlightga. We'll do Prayer of Vitality to help fill up Wilk. All right, because we would like him to be full if at all possible. Let's see. Actually, how much longer does the light last? I think I'm going to save that Enlightga actually for turn 7. So we've got 3 more on it. So I really just want to make sure that that Wilk is up and ready with his LB. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do Sylvie first real quick. See how close that gets him. Yeah, I think we're going to need both of those on Rosa. So I'll go ahead and do that for Wilk. Even then, he's like 1 shy. Come on. All right, we got to get lucky on some drops here then. All right, come on, Chris drops. Be good to me. There we go. All right, now we can do Cloud Style, so that we unlock his 90% defense break next turn. And Manufactured Nethicite. right, there's the Dispelga that has been nethicided, so we were not dispelled, thankfully. All right. Actually, nope. We're gonna do Leaping Loves. Gonna go ahead and do her LB for the buffs. Actually, I think we still have those buffs up, don't we? Yeah, we still have them from the last time, so I'm gonna save that actually. All right. So what we'll do is we'll just have her chain with Wilk with the 90% defense break, because you see we've lost that now. Rosa will do her Dragon Bane on the Esters again. Alright, Kuja is going to need... Actually, no, he's got re-raise, so he doesn't need to put re-raise on himself, thankfully. Okay. Yep, so he should be good. So we can go ahead and do... my time is almost up, just to re-up our... yeah, just to re-up that. I think we should all have... maybe I should do the Mirage on this turn, actually. Just to make sure nobody takes that AoE physical on this turn. Does everyone still have a stack of Mirage? I feel like... Yeah, everyone still has Mirage, so nope, we're good. He can just do his 160% Imperil. Alright, so Wilk and Sylvie will chain it up, and then followed by the Esters, so that they've got the full chain ramp when they start their LBs, alright? This should get us pretty close to 50 without going over. Yeah, perfect. Because the idea is we want to get really close to 50% without going over, and then on turn 8 we should do a nice big burst. Okay, so oh no, we're not doing Nethicite this turn. I don't know what I'm thinking. He'll just want to put Phoenix Guard on himself. Rosa is going to do Enlightga. And True Glorious Rain of Arrows or something. It's got a pretty, it's got a pretty funny name. Enlightga, True Glorious Rain of Arrows, because that does, let me just show you, that does a 90% across the board elemental resist. We're most interested in the fire. The fire resists. Because once we push the 50% threshold, it's going to start doing some AoE fire damage to the party. We definitely don't want that if we can help it. Alright. So Wilk will come back. He'll do Memories of the Ancestral Dragon for the mod boost to his LB, Ancestor's Presence, and Frenzied Claws. Sylvia will go ahead and do her LB so that we're buffed and ready for it next turn. Alright, Esther's will just set up for another burst. Alright, and I think we should be good to go on that one. I'm just kind of double checking myself here. So, yep, Kuja's going to do Phoenix Guard, yep. Alright, so we'll re-up our Light Imbue. We'll do our 90% fire resist. So we should be good there. Sylvia will do her LB. And Wilk and Esther can... I'm actually going to send Wilk first. Because again, I don't want to push 50%. This shouldn't. This should only do like 2 or 3% here. All right, perfect. All right, so on this one, we'll get our Nethicite ready, because when we push 50%, once you're below 50%, the Dark Dragon does the Dispel on every turn multiple of 4. So it will do it on turn 8. All right, Rosa We'll do Dragonbane on the Esters. All right, we're hoping to push real deep into phase 2 territory here on this one. All right. Yep, so now Wilk has his big 200% Dragon Killer buff on himself. All right. Sylvie's going to come back to base form. She's going to do Paladin's Defense for the Mirage stacks, Elemental Vines for the magic mitigation, and Burgeoning Defense for the general mitigation, all right? Because the party, not everybody is completely fire immune, all right? Wilk, Esther, and, Wilk and the Esters will only have the 90% fire resist. I'm pretty sure Wilk's on. Actually, no, Wilk is fully immune, so it's really just the Esters that we're concerned about, and we want to make sure they're not taking too much damage from the AoE magic. Okay. All right. So making sure that Kuja's got manufactured Nethicite. I'll of course wait till the end to do that. Sylvie can go ahead. All right. Hopefully this one does a pretty significant burst, like maybe down close to 30%. We'll see. All right. Nice, 32, that's really good. That's really good. That's a solid burst right there. We're looking good. 3.3 bill, excellent. All right, and that's why Kuja has the guts, all right, to make sure, because if he dies before the Dispel, then the Nethicite will not work. So I learned that the hard way on a few test runs, all right, but that's why Kuja has the guts there. All right. Otherwise, you know, if you have somebody else with the Nethicite, it doesn't really matter. He can die, re-raise, that's fine. All right, so turn 9. I think he's going to die again. Oh yeah, he's definitely going to die. Let's see. So we can actually have Rose take care of that for us. All right, let me just check all my boosts and everything. Yeah, I've got to make sure we're looking good there. So, we'll bring Sylvie back here. All right, and I think I'm going to go ahead and fill up Wilk on this one. Because what I'd like to do is re-raise. Oh, use her to re-raise. And then, is that what I want to do? I think so. How much longer do we have on our item view? Yeah, and it's going to get dispelled on turn 12. So on turn 12, we're going to take the dispel. It's perfectly fine. We don't care about the dispel on turn 12. So our light imbue should keep us going until then. I think. Maybe. Possibly. Maybe I'll just go ahead and re-up it anyways. And then we'll do re-raise on Kuja so that he can do the Imperil. And then, yeah, Sylvie can just do I've Got Your Back on Wilk. And I think that should be fine. All right. And then Esther's will just set up. Esther's are so easy on this. One of the reasons why I love Esther. She's just very easy. All right. Actually, no, let's do the I've Got Your Back on Wilk, but we'll go ahead and do a couple of clever Paladin strikes just to make sure. Just to make sure that her LB gets filled up fairly quickly, because we want to make sure her LB is also getting filled. All right, so now he can do hurricane style to chain with the esters, and that way he can do his 90% break again next turn. Okay, everyone's all good. Yep, looking good, looking good. All right. This turn is also a pretty bad one for Kuja. I think he's going to die on this one as well. Kuja dies a lot in this, but he is incredibly useful. I couldn't do it without him. We'll say that. Could not do it without him. All right, Dragonbane on the esters for another big burst. Sylvie and Wilk. Let me just make sure. Yeah, everyone still has their elemental boosts. Yep, he's still good. He just needs to. He did do re-raise on himself, right? Yeah. Okay. We're not expecting a dispel or anything. That won't happen again until turn 12. So yeah, we should be good. The team will take some AoE fire magic damage, but as you can see from last turn, it's not really anything to worry about. So yeah, we'll just have, hopefully Kuja just takes all the single target big hits, the imperils, and dies and re-raises, and he'll be fine. Hopefully. If not, Rosa can also bring him back to life next turn. No big D. Okay. Alright, so we have our imbues. Good there. Yep. Okay. Yep. Okay, so Wilk and Sylvie, similar to like a previous one we did, Wilk and Sylvie will chain it up, and the esters will take over once the chain cap has been hit. All right, let me just make sure I'm doing that right. Nice. All right. We're looking good. We might actually kill this thing on turn 12, which would be great. All right, so we did die that turn, but no big deal. The nice thing about being passive provoke is you don't have to worry about it. And turn 11 is a tame turn. All it's going to do is a bunch of single target fire elemental physical attacks, which Kuja will completely resist. No problem. All right. I am going to re-up our true glorious rain of arrows for the mitigations. Sylvie is going to. But I think we need our magic mitigation back up, don't we? Oh no, we still got our magic mitigation up. Okay, no worries. Then Sylvie will go ahead and do her leaping love in hopes that this will help us kill next turn. Okay. Oh yeah, we only have one of those, so we don't have to worry about that. All right. So I think, yeah, he can just chain it up with the esters on this one. All right, and I think we should be good. So yeah, we'll full life on Kuja. All right, true rain of arrows. Esters will set up. All right, they've still got plenty of light imbue, perfect. All right, so Sylvia will go ahead and do her LB. All right, Wilk and the esters can chain it up, and we're probably gonna kill next turn actually, which is really great. Okay, so we'll just do, so you see we still have the 160% imperil, which is great. So we don't actually have to use this turn because we're gonna need a safety net. So we're gonna do Phoenix Guard just to make sure, all right? Now we're probably gonna kill on this turn, but if we didn't, we would want Kuja to have re-raise on himself. He doesn't currently have re-raise on himself, I'm pretty sure, yep. Okay, so he's gonna do that this turn, and then next turn we'll re-up our light imperil if we need to. We might not need to, all right? I'm just double checking myself. Yep, so Rosa is going to do the Dragon Killers on the Esthers. Wilk will shift and get his LB ready. All right, and that should be fully stacked by now. We've done 2 LBs, so it should be fully stacked, ready to go. All right, he lost his Dragon Killer buff, but that's okay. Like I said, Esthers are the ones doing the real damage here. And, let's see. I think that should be good. Actually, you know what we could do? Probably a better safety net would actually be to just have Sylvie do a normal attack on here, and then Kuja. Yeah, we'll do that. I think that's probably better. So we'll have Kuja do his imperil, and then we'll just have Sylvie do a normal attack to put re-raise on everybody. All right. So, but like I said, it could all be moot because we could kill this turn, but let's find out. Oh yeah, dead. Boom. All right. Didn't even need to worry about all that backup stuff. There it is. 12 turns. 3.3. Nice. Esther still got it. So if you don't mind missing out on that 5-unit mission, you know, still get this done in under 15 turns. Easy peasy. All right, let's see how we did. Who were the winners here? All right, Esther's, of course. Wow. I mean, it makes sense because Esther's are doing their LBs every other turn, but I mean, come on, Wilk. You know, I expected at least a little bit more from you. But yeah, the Esther's almost carrying all the damage. The boss has 17 billion HP. And so the Esthers combined did 16.5. So, you know, Wilk really only needed to do like another 500 million, maybe a billion just to be safe on that one. But yeah, and you know, I didn't slouch too much on my Wilk's gear, I don't think. I didn't really pay too much attention to him, but yeah. We'll take a look at the gear here in a second. So you'll miss out on my friend Bunny because I'm showing you this at the end, but Cordrin's Bunny was built basically the same as mine, just had slightly higher attack because he used a different piece of cow gear to get a little bit extra static attack. But otherwise, the build is basically the same on the Esthers here. All right, so Kuja. Kuja was just my provoke unit. He had safety bit for death resist, midsummer boater for the guts. He's got 200%. You need at least 200% fire resist on your provoke unit if you're going to use them the same way that I use Kuja. Phoenix energy just for some fire resist and also some heals. Manufactured Nethicite. Light breaker for that turn 1 break and imperil. 10,000 needles was just there just in case I needed it. Can't remember if I actually used it. I don't think I ever needed to use it. All right, and then a hero arrives just to finish his passive provoke. All right, so he's got the Moogle charm, and then this vision card finishes off his passive provoke there. All right, didn't even bother to build him in Brave Shift form. Don't need it. You can use an EX0 Kuja, will work just fine. Sylvie is basically the same build in both forms. Dancer's Diadem for the passive provoke. Like I said, she's like the backup in case Kuja dies but doesn't re-raise quickly enough to take some of the single target attacks. You probably saw that a few times during the battle, so it's good to have her as a backup provoke unit. And then, yeah, just make sure she has got 200% fire resist. That's all she really needs there. So whatever gear you have to get her to passive provoke and 200% fire resist, that's all you need to worry about. Same thing in both forms. The rest of the gear is basically irrelevant. Just passive provoke, 200% fire resist, all you need. All right. My Esther, and like I said, Cordron's bunny was built pretty much the same, just like slight variations in the Clash of Wills gear for slightly higher attack. You can see Esther's creeping up there. She's getting close to 10,000 attack without any kind of intrinsic abilities or anything like that. I'm kind of excited. I hope we get an intrinsic here in the next couple months that, you know, gives her some static attack. Maybe it'll actually fix her frickin' LB field so we can finally use imperil fields. That would be fantastic. But yeah, anyways, so basically just as much attack and killers as we could stuff in there. Yeah, gave her Wilk's card just for the higher attack stat. Yeah, just Epine build with full dragon killers. She doesn't need anything specific. You could put, like, you know, 10% fire resist on there to make her fully immune, but it's not really necessary, as you can see. Rosa is, yeah, this is just left over from the previous clear, I think, and I made her evade, I think, in the previous clear because I was worried. Like, there was like a couple of times she died from the AoE physicals or something like that. Not really necessary. We've got Mirage to cover that now with Sylvie on the party, so not necessary to make her evade at all. Yeah, she does have 100% fire resist, but that's, yeah, again, that's not necessary. She's just here for the dragon killers, re-raise, the light imbue, all that stuff. Wilk, in his normal form, built for fairly good damage. You can see I forgot to give him any kind of chain cap boost, so that's probably one reason why his damage suffered a little bit, but honestly, he's such a clunky unit to use. You know, he's useful for that break and for dealing a little bit of side chip damage, but he's really not a primary DPS unit. He just isn't. You know, his rotation is just way too slow to be a good primary DPS, which is really sad because, I mean, he's a premium unit. I don't know. Anyways, in his Brave Shift form, pretty much similar gear. Again, you can see I forgot to give him any kind of chain cap boost, but that's because I wanted Esther's to take the fight. You know, I didn't want this to be Wilk's show or anything like that. He is built for full-on killers, of course, full LB damage and all that stuff, but yeah, he's just doing some side damage there. And that's pretty much it. So, yep, that takes care of the Dark Dragon. Esther has now been a part of, I think I've done an Esther clear on just about all of the 12 types trials. I'll go back and see if maybe there are any that I missed, but for now I'm going to be focusing on the Iron Giant, which is coming up. So looking forward to that. Iron Giant is going to be kind of a neat one because we can take basically any element that we want. Iron Giant is 200% resistant to all elements. So you basically just pick your strongest element with your strongest imperils, your strongest amps, you know, whatever you're going to use. I think a lot of people are going to end up using the near units and going light element. That makes the most sense because they have tons of human killers in their kits. They're very, very strong. They've got 150% light amps. You can bring Kuja and like Tsukiko and just hammer it. That's probably going to be what we're going to see in a lot of clears on day one. Guarantee you'll see a lot of Kuja, Tsukiko, and like Kuja, Tsukiko, probably Wilk for the 90% spirit or defense break. Why not? And then bring in a couple of 2Bs and it'll slaughter the thing real quick, I have a feeling. So I'll see what I come up with. You'll probably see also a lot of Olive clears, of course. Olive is just great for these trials with her inherent 90% spirit break. We'll see what I come up with. I'll definitely do an Esther clear of Iron Giant at some point, but yeah, we'll see what I do on day one. I'll try and come up with something a little bit different, but yeah, we'll see. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope this was helpful, and I will see you on the other side.